before the fire, 5 of the 6 people on the Coast Guard plane are dead. We're heading to Western Japan with earthquake relief supplies. At least 48 people are killed in those quakes.
The quakes, including a powerful 7.6 magnitude tremor, ignited fires and collapsed buildings on Japan's main island, Honshu. And it's feared more victims are buried in the rubble.
Fox's Claudia Cowan. The Michigan Wolverines and Washington Huskies will play for college football's national championship.
The top-ranked Wolverines went to overtime to beat number 4 Alabama 27-20 in the Rose Bowl. In the Sugar Bowl, number 2 Washington withstood a wild Texas comeback to win 37-31. Michael Penix Jr. threw for 430 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Fox's Tim McMaster. America's listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Live and local. Real talk starts now.
And should I just say, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, y'all, all y'alls.
I'm Lee Barrows.
And welcome to the Tuesday edition.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
You got it right. Yeah, the 2nd of January it is, and we're here. Brand new year, thank goodness. You know, I'm trying to think of a worser year than last year, but I guess it would have been 2021. And then 2022, we had the 21 pandemic.
Right.
22, we had, I forgot what it was, a bunch of junk.
Well, the pandemic started in 2020, though.
Yeah, I know it started then,
And
but that was late in
snowballed.
2020.
Yeah.
Then it got really worse in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And then along comes 2022. And then last year, oh my, there was just so much going on.
It is for a lot of people.
Well, the thing is, we're starting out this year with calamities.
Yeah.
We have an earthquake in Japan, a
big one.
7.6 magnitude
Yes.
Yeah.
hit yesterday, New Year's Day, about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Japanese time, Japan time. 48 confirmed dead so far, and the death toll is likely going to continue going up.
Yes.
And then in Japan, we have an airliner, a passenger plane with 370 plus people on board, including crew, collided on the runway with a Coast Guard plane carrying 6 people. 5 of those 6 people are dead.
Yes.
And the big plane caught on fire.
Yeah, the big plane caught on fire and
Yeah.
flames were everywhere.
Yep.
But nobody on that plane was hurt.
Could you imagine
got
being
lucky.
on that plane?
I can't imagine how they got all those people off
I don't
that
either.
quickly and that was amazing.
You can't get that many. You can't get 150 people off a normal plane in less than 15, 20 minutes.
I've been on the plane that had to evacuate, and I'm here to
Oh, is
tell
that
you,
right?
yes, and it is not an easy feat.
Ooh.
There's a lot, yeah.
Ooh, no.
And
You had-
jumping down that little.
Did you have to go down the runway?
Yes, I had to do down the little slidey thing and everything with the baby, no less.
Oh my God.
It was interesting. Yeah,
Oh, what a mess.
wouldn't want to do that again. But that's
No.
how I'm saying. That's how I am so amazed. And my plane probably had maybe 140 people on it.
Yeah, likely.
It's me throwing out a number.
737. Yeah.
But I can't imagine 300. I mean, that's
370
amazing.
something or another.
They got all those people off.
Yeah, and I was not aware that the initial reports until just a few minutes ago. I knew it hit a Coast Guard plane, but I did not know it hit it that hard. How do you hit something on the ground?
Don't get me started.
Y'all
I've
didn't
been on
see
a
each
plane
other?
that did that too. We had one of those catering trucks.
The first plane,
Mhm.
first Piedmont plane that landed at the brand new airport here in Onslow County,
Mhm.
1970, whatever it was, the wing clipped a truck.
Mhm.
Shoot.
And they'll cause a lot of damage.
It caused lots of damage to the
Mhm.
airplane, but
Yeah.
it was not unrepairable. They took off on it later on.
Oh no, we had to evacuate that one too.
No.
Well, there's
Yeah.
footage showing flames coming out of the
I've
window.
seen that
Yes.
footage.
And shortly after that, it just consumed the whole
Everything.
plane
I just-
into flames.
Like I said, I'm
Just a ball of fire.
amazed at how quickly they got those people off there.
So am I. I feel so bad for the coasties there.
Yeah,
But, how
same.
how did it hit it so hard?
How did they hit it all? I just
you know,
as careful as the Japanese usually are about that kind of thing. I mean, I definitely think this was some kind of human error somewhere.
we'll know that happened. That was
mean,
not a plane error.
Yeah,
Right.
no.
That
I
was
mean, somebody was not on the correct runway. very
was it on
sad.
was it on the tarmac or on the runway?
I thought I read on the runway, but
I don't know.
don't quote me
I
on
don't
that.
know.
That's
Yeah,
what I
it's-
read, but
It says airport runway.
yeah, I read runway.
Wow.
I had read that the big plane was landing.
That's what I saw.
Yeah. So I just I don't know.
Was it one
See,
plane
that's what
crossing
leads me to
another?
believe it would had. I envisioned it had touched down
Mhm.
and
Well, it had.
somehow immediately the other plane was in the way or came out of
Somebody's-
nowhere or
That's true. Then an air controller has
Yeah.
lost a job.
Yeah.
this is very sad.
Oh, what a mess.
Yeah.
So, how was the beginning of your new year?
Quiet.
I painted a ceiling,
We de-decorated.
decorated.
We
Yes, I had done
de-decorated.
that
Oh, I had already done
a
that.
couple days
Wow.
prior.
Mhm.
Well, it took us. Robbie finished it up yesterday,
Mhm.
de-decorating, and we hauled it all out to the pod
Mhm.
and locked it away till next year.
Yes.
Repacked, restuffed, redid, yeah.
I think most people did this weekend. I noticed most of my neighborhood, they had taken theirs down this weekend.
And I had my mother tell me on no less than 4 times, I do not need to buy any more Christmas decorations.
Well, no kidding. I'm
Little
sure
does
you've
she
got more
know.
than you can use. I've got more than we can use. We've got too much.
Well, this is what I.
Y'all want to buy some Hey,
No, I
don't,
want
don't,
more.
don't listen to your mama.
Mhm.
You want to buy some decorations?
I do.
We got plenty.
Okay.
Make your deal.
It's Robbie
My
says
house
it's
was very
okay.
Christmassy, so
Yes,
I
it
love
was.
it. It was awesome.
I told you I just didn't quit doing that a long time ago because somebody was always messing with. We were all stacked on top of each other in an inappropriate way every time I'd go home in the morning. And I just got to the point. I just put stuff up on the house, but I don't know. Maybe I'll go bad next year.
Well, I'm going to have to because, this year I had to break out a new yard decoration. My grandson complained last year that I didn't have enough. As he put it, Nana, your yard looks lame.
Your
So-
yard looks lame.
So this year I kept what I had and then I added a Santa on a train blow up and he was pleased with that, but he says I still need to do a little more. So I guess next year instead of the house, which according to my mother, it does not need anything else inside, maybe I'll focus on my yard. So I won't be lame in his eyes.
Why don't you start now?
I know. I've already got some ideas.
Well, now's a good time to buy decorations for
Everything's
this
on
upcoming
sale.
year.
Yeah.
Yes, half price or more.
Ago, years and years and years ago, we'd been married maybe a year, and Robbie bought me a boat,
Mm-hmm.
an inflatable boat
Oh,
with Santa on it, an
Oh,
inflatable
nice.
Santa.
I had a race
Oh,
car.
that's cool.
We had that in the yard for so long until it had too many holes in it to
Mhm.
patch.
I had a
So-
race car with Santa. It had big 48 on it for all of you that know that I was a Jimmy Johnson fan. Had a 48 on the race car and Santa hanging out it.
Well,
Yeah.
Did he run over Santa?
No,
Oh,
Santa
he
was
dressed as
driving it.
Santa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Santa was driving it.
Got to have some speed when you're delivering those packages.
Yeah,
So
I
I
guess so.
I've got 10 and a half months to plan my yard to make it to my grandson's acceptance level. He critiqued me hard.
Why don't you have him help you?
He just wants to critique. He helps me do the Halloween. He likes to do that. But yeah,
You can't get through Halloween before there's Thanksgiving and then Christmas. And Thanksgiving
he
and
just wants
Christmas
to
kind of
see
run
the
together.
Christmas. He doesn't want to help put it up. He just
Why?
wants, I don't know. It's just, he likes to look at it.
Well, he needs to help you,
Yeah.
I think.
Well.
Be good for him.
He just wants to critique me.
I've kind of got, I'm wondering this morning. I've got a lot of wondering going on all weekend long. Oh, yeah. Who and how many people will be revealed in those Jeffrey
I was
Epstein
wondering.
documents that are ready
I
to be
can't
released? Might happen
wait.
today.
Very curious
The
to
names
see.
will be unredacted this
Mhm.
time.
Well, we can already
Uh-oh.
guess a couple.
Well-
Bill Clinton,
He's at the top of the list.
Bill Gates.
Possibly, probably.
Yes.
It's been rumored since Epstein was arrested that Clinton, among others, 150 others, are named in documents accusing Epstein of sex trafficking. Epstein reportedly committed suicide while awaiting trial of those charges. He'd already been convicted on state charges. I forgot what state. Was it Florida? Somewhere. The documents are expected to identify people, including associates, victims, investigators, and journalists
Why are they going to identify
Law
victims?
enforcement also.
who covered the case. Well,
I mean, hopefully they're not going to name them unless
yes, they're going to be named. Some of the names will remain under seal, including those belonging to minors
Okay.
who never spoke publicly about the
Mhm.
case, and a person who the judge said was wrongly identified as a perpetrator by a reporter. So that reporter is going to be
my.
identified, but
that's a
the
lawsuit.
that guy is not going to be, person is not going to be identified.
Mhm.
No advance word that Clinton was actually involved in any illegal activity surrounding Epstein shenanigans. We don't know that yet. That has not been revealed. We're going to find out.
That's going to fuel so much speculation
Oh,
about Clinton, though,
God, yes.
based on the Monica Lewinsky incident.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
well, we already
That's my first
suspected.
thought.
Yeah. So with his
I wonder if Monica was involved in any of
preference
this.
for young girls, Monica was young.
Uh-huh.
That's going to lead to a lot of speculation, I
course.
think. Yeah.
Yeah, it already has. So you got Prince Andrew,
Yeah.
Yep.
billionaire Leon Black.
I
Uh-huh.
don't know who that is. But
He
There's a rich dude.
he was
Yeah.
CEO from Apollo Management, but resigned after he had a 16-year-old girl with autism.
Uh-oh. Last month, a federal judge ruled there was no justification to keep the documents under wraps anymore. The order came as part of a 2015 lawsuit between Epstein accuser Virginia Giuffre, I think it is, Giuffre, and his former lover and accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell. Lots of ways to try to
Yes.
pronounce Ghislaine.
Ghislaine
Ghislaine is the correct way in British terminology. Settled in 2017, but the judge indicated in hearings in 2021 and 2022 that the names would not remain sealed indefinitely. Ghislaine has claimed that Epstein and Maxwell trafficked her when she was just 17 years old. She is now in her 30s. No word from the Clintons, of course. Those documents could be released as early as today.
what a mess this is going to
Oh,
create.
we got
Can't
something.
wait
We got
for
stuff
that.
to talk about.
Yeah.
I guess
No.
J.P. Morgan was sued by the U.S. Virgin Islands for helping. They claimed that they helped Epstein,
Mhm.
so they were sued by the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Down in St. Thomas, up on a hill,
Mhm.
we were ferrying over to the British Virgin Islands, and we would go by his place.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Was it like big?
It was hard to
Mansion.
tell. It was way up
Ah,
high. Okay, more than 3,000 U.S. Navy and Marine personnel, including the 26th Marine Expeditionary Unit from Camp Lejeune, have arrived in the Middle East to beef up defenses as aggressive acts continue against commercial vessels in the region. Been going on since last July? This brings additional aviation and naval assets, as well as more U.S. Marines and sailors, providing greater flexibility and maritime capabilities to the U.S. Fifth Fleet. That's according to CENTCOM. Additionally, the 2,600 or so Marines and the 26 MU are capable of conducting amphibious missions, crisis response, and designated special operations, among other abilities. The situation has led the U.S. military to consider placing armed personnel aboard commercial ships in the Strait of Hormuz. We are going to put armed U.S. military personnel on commercial vessels.
wow.
Yeah, I think that'll be a first.
Yes.
I've never heard of it before.
Well, U.S. had quite a few strikes this weekend.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, U.S. has been hit, and I had one other serviceman who was injured, wounded. They had them in Syria and wherever else they were. And everybody's looking at Iran, of course,
Tell you
because
what,
the mess is coming from Iran.
those naval ships out there don't play.
Now, if you start messing with them, they will shoot your stuff down. But I wonder just how many anti-missiles that we've got aboard these vessels. because they've been popping them left and right, popping the drones down. They fly nearby to shoot them down. That gets expensive too, y'all.
Certainly does.
Not as expensive as getting one of our vessels hit,
True that.
but we and thank goodness that money that we had seized back in 2001 was not turned over as Biden wanted it to be turned over back to Iran. We froze their assets. That's not the only thing we should freeze. But we froze their assets, and Biden was getting ready to hand it all over to them. We need to convert that into military defense funds.
Yeah, well, wait a minute.
Just-
According to Biden, the United States is in the best shape it's ever been in. That was his New Year's address.
I saw it. I about puked.
I said as I had to go pump gas into my truck.
My Lord of mercy. That is, he's got a really bad memory. Gas prices are up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, like a yo-yo. They say they're coming down.
Of course, the holidays are over.
I expect them to come down. They have been coming down, but that's because of politics, and Biden wants to get reelected. But, then they went back up, except, in Swansboro, we were there Friday, I guess it was. In Swansboro, gas prices, the lowest price I saw at a regular station was $2.79. That was at the Walmart. Jacksonville, at the regular stations, they were $2.89 and up.
Yes.
Sam's was
that's
still
what I saw.
$2.78. But I'm like, why? Why is there such a variation here? Why is it all over the place?
Because they can.
That mean you should?
No.
Okay.
No.
I don't know. Sometimes wonder if the government should put a cap on how much they can charge.
Well, some of it too has to do with our gas tax in this state.
Swansboro is
tax.
still in this state.
No, I agree. I'm just saying.
Sam's is in this
Yeah.
state.
No, but I'm saying
And all the other stations are in
you
this
can go
state.
down to South Carolina or up in Virginia when I go up there, and it'll be depend on where you go.
Here's the problem with that.
Mhm.
Okay. Gas taxes in this state are used to maintain our roads.
Oh, don't start me. It's too
Yeah.
early.
You go
Reggie.
to South Carolina.
Beautiful roads.
Yeah, but who
Till you
pays
get on
for it?
95.
Who pays for it in South Carolina?
Taxpayers.
Yes, property taxes pay for it. The property taxes go to pay for road improvements in South Carolina.
Well, I'm here to tell you that 95 in South Carolina is horrific. They
I
don't
understand
have-
that.
They are terribly maintained.
I understand that.
So there's that.
You can tell such a difference though as soon as you cross over the border. The state line.
Well, that is a border.
Yeah.
In
It is a
certain
border.
places in South Carolina, the roads are much better because the property taxes
Correct.
pay for the roads to be
Right.
repaired.
It's just 95. It's terrible.
That
Yeah.
95 is an interstate.
I know.
That's
Just like I
that's
said,
paid
it's
for by,
awful.
with federal
Yes.
government.
And you can see they
Federal
don't
stuff.
spend a dime there.
Apparently not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
But anyway.
Um,
Okay, why don't we go ahead and take a break, do a little bit of weather, and it's chilly outside, and then
cold.
we got a gentleman that's has
His hands
now
are
arrived.
cold.
His hands are cold.
Gotcha. Yes.
Okay,
He grabbed my hand. I was like, "Oof."
his hands are cold. He's got cold hands, but a warm heart.
Warm heart.
There you go. You're live and local, Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m., WSME, worldwide, WSME971.com. We'll be right back.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance. For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-290-5599. 1-800-290-5599 or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-290-5599. That's 1-800-290-5599. Select Quote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
A plan every adult family member should consider is the pre-arranged funeral. It's the worry-saving thing to do for your family. Making pre-arrangements helps to alleviate the additional stress on family members that can come with arranging a loved one's funeral. Jones Funeral Home's prepaid funeral plan helps remove confusion. They make a practical cost possible, and it's the best way to take an unpleasant task off the shoulders of the family. Call Jones Funeral Home at 455-1281.
With locations in Jacksonville, Richland, Swansboro, and Holly Ridge.
Flatwoods Outfitters of Hubert looks forward to serving you throughout the new year with all your sporting arm needs and personal safety. Located at 111 Second Amendment Lane in Hubert between Jacksonville and Swansboro, Flatwoods Outfitters is Onslow County's oldest sporting and firearm facility. Flatwoods Outfitters has a long gun or pistol in stock to fit your need, whether for hunting or personal safety. Take advantage of their outdoor shooting range to practice or to learn how to safely operate your firearm, which Flatwoods highly recommends. At Flatwoods, you can sight in your scope to be sure of perfect accuracy to bag that trophy. They carry all the major brand names of long guns, shotguns, and pistols, as well as ammunition. If you are interested in a concealed weapon permit, Flatwoods Outfitters can assist with that also. Flatwoods Outfitters, 111 Second Amendment Lane, just off Highway 24 in Hubert, where they aim to preserve our hunting heritage, wildlife, and constitution.
Wismart and Chappie's Chicken. And for over 50 years, Great Gas and Oil Company has kept our community comfortable year-round with quality heating and cooling products and dependable service. In addition to heating and air conditioning service, Great Gas and Oil Company does generators, tankless water heaters, and quality appliance repair. For service, phone 910-347-7138. Locally owned and operated by Jerry and Jeff Allen and Bobby and Louise Williams. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you smile. Now proud to be working with Drs. Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lane & Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing dental experience. The offices of Lane & Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major insurances, including military. Lane & Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Yeah, the Thailand Marine family wishes one and all a very happy new year, and the doors will open at 8:30 tomorrow morning, and there will be some fine folks waiting there to help you. If this is the year for a new boat, don't wait until warm weather to take the plunge. No doubt there will be fewer boats in the coming months, and it's impossible to know exactly when replacements will arrive. The luxurious Aloha pontoon boats, all 4 of them are in stock right now. If you're into shallow water fishing for reds, specks, sheephead, spot, you're sure to love the quality and versatility of the Lund fishing boats. Thinking about nearshore or offshore runs to the waters where the big fish like to play? Aquasport Center consoles might be exactly what you need. Of course, new American-made, American Power outboards from 15 to 300 horsepower are awaiting your visit to Tideline's showroom. Stop in, get acquainted. If you haven't been lately, or perhaps you're new to the area, check out the supplies the store carries. If you're having problems with your motor, might be wise to get it in for service right away. The technicians get really booked up when the weather turns warm. Tideline Marine, 159 Old Bridge Street, on the banks of the New River in downtown Jacksonville. Got a small craft advisory. It remains in effect through this afternoon. Today, offshore northerly winds 20 to 25 knots, becoming northwesterly 15 to 20 in the afternoon. Gust up to 30. Seas 4 to 6, dominant period 4 seconds. Sounds and rivers are rough, diminishing to choppy in the afternoon. Westerly winds tomorrow 10 to 15, seas 2 to 3 feet. Sounds and rivers of moderate chop. Thursday, kicking up again, 10 to 15, increasing to 15 to 20 in the afternoon. Then 20 to 25 in the evening, becoming northerly 15 to 20 after midnight. Seas 3 to 5 feet. Sounds and rivers of moderate chop. increasing to choppy in the afternoon, then becoming rough in the evening.
Today, sunny, high of 49. Wind 7 to 11 miles an hour with gusts as high as 18 miles an hour. Tonight, clear, cold, low of 27. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 57. Tomorrow night, showers likely, mainly after 1 a.m. Otherwise, mostly cloudy, a low of 36. On
That's cold.
Thursday, mostly sunny, a high of 52. But the winds could increase in the afternoon, and with gusts ended up being 22 miles an hour.
Well, I'm glad we picked up some kindling yesterday.
Think you're gonna need
we
some.
took the trailer out and drove around the yard, just part of the yard,
All
and
you
we got
needed to
enough for
do.
about 3, 5, 6, 8 good fire starters.
Well,
So-
you're going to be using a lot of them this coming week.
Yeah, I am.
Mhm.
So I love a wood burning fireplace. So anyway, JoJo, what's going on?
Rafe Daddy, ladies, glad to be back.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here, Joe McLaughlin. Financial planner, financial advisor, financial wizard. Where's my money?
Well, if you were in the market last year, your market is up, but I appreciate the chance to come in and talk about the 5 things that you should do as we kick off the new year.
Should I go to buy a lottery ticket? Some guy won, $800 million?
I didn't think anybody wanted.
No, that's not part of our strategy.
Oh,
No.
okay. Well,
So, but I mean, if you like to gamble, that's okay. It can be an addiction, but consistent behavior over long term is a much better way to go. Top 5 things that you might want to consider doing this year as you kick off the new year. First of all, take an inventory of what you have. What do I mean by that? Many times we run across folks who have, they've had multiple jobs, multiple 401ks. They kind of tuck it away. It's only got a few thousand or however much is in it. They forget about it. They are not sure about that old life insurance policy they got back in the day. So I would first start by making sure you know what you have.
Mm-hmm.
Because many times with those old 401ks that you had when you were single or maybe married for the first time, and guess who's on the beneficiary list? Not maybe the person that you want right now. And so if you find that you're short of a document or a product, call the company that has that account and go through the process to get an updated statement or a copy of
how do
the
we
policy.
even know who has that account anymore? I mean, let's just say back in the day, 40 years ago.
Well, investment companies have to give you an annual statement of your holdings.
Mm-hmm.
So that's you ought to get a piece of paper at least with that frequency. But with life insurance,
Well, how about if I've moved several times since then?
well, you hopefully have your oldest statement, which maybe has your old address, or call them if you think that you had an account. Most of those big investment firms have 1-800 numbers that you can call, and we've got you, but we think you're still in Omaha. And work through that process. The life insurance people are a little different. They don't send out no news is typically okay news with life insurance companies.
Yeah,
but
they don't have to pay you if you are still breathing.
But that doesn't mean that there isn't a loan against the policy or the beneficiaries are jacked up. So take some time and find out what you have that you thought you might have had at one time. And as we like to say for all the 0311 guys out there, keep your rucksack packed nice and tight. Don't have a lot of stuff hanging out. Find out what you have, get it all in one location. Second thing that I would encourage people to do is conduct a review with your advisor. If you don't have one, you have access to one. All banks that I know of, all credit unions in this town, Marine Fed, Navy Fed, everyone's got financial advisors. Some of them are in-house. Some of them you have to telecommute. And you do have access to an advisor, whether there's a small fee associated with that or not. That you'll find that out when you talk to them. But one of my favorite expressions after 30 years in the business is people who get help do better. I mean, think the most important parts of your life, whether it's medicine or taxes or whatever. You grab the WebMD guide and self-medicate, or do you get help? And finances is no exception, because with an advisor, what you get is a firm and a person typically who's been along this journey a long time with thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. So why wouldn't you tap into external expertise, especially if you've got a bank account, you've got access to an advisor. And one of the things that you will be able to do with that advisor is see if you're on track or not, and how the components of your holdings with that firm are doing. if you don't have an advisor, even if you do have an advisor, ask for their business card. You could tell a lot about an advisor by the fine print on their business card.
Really?
Typically, there are two big domains of advisors. One is a registered representative, and they can do a certain level of care, and they typically work for a firm that has their own products. Registered representative, and he has to make a recommendation that's suitable.
Mm-hmm.
The higher standard and what you should look for is a financial advisor. You can't use those words unless you meet some very specific criteria. Financial advisor. And their standard of care is best interest, where we have to make a recommendation that's clearly in your best interest, not our firm. And and they have to be able to prove that to internal auditors as well as external auditors.
Really?
Well, I recommended this to Rayford because I can prove to you that we think it's in his best interest to do X.
So it's not just anybody can call themselves a financial advisor and get away with it.
No.
Huh.
No. And then there's been a great proliferation of credentials. CFP, I happen to be a certified financial planner, but there is RICP. And so each of those little letters that you see after, and it's in the same in all professions, they have this criteria. And so look at that card and ask them, what do these fancy letters after your name mean? And so that tells you a lot about the skill set of the advisor. And then third thing that you should consider doing is reviewing your investments. So the first thing I like to ask folks when we start bringing up a conversation of investments is, well, what's your asset allocation? And sometimes people will asset allocation.
That's what I thought you said.
So that's how much of your portfolio is stocks, bonds, or cash.
Mm-hmm.
The big three domains. And
does property count as cash?
Well, that's a real estate. It's a sub element there. Yeah.
Okay.
But 90% of what you're going to end up with at the end of the day is how much stock you have. And if you want stock market-like returns, the Dow last year was up 25%. The S&P closed up about 25% for last year. That's good because it was down by about that much the prior year. But if you want market rate returns over the long term, guess where you have to be?
Got to be in the stock market.
You got to be in the market, and so part of what your advisor should do for you is help ease you through these turbulent times and explain to you what's causing it, what's the projection, what's the anticipation. But if you want market rate returns, you have to be able to endure some of that volatility. 3/4 of the time the market's going up, 1/4 it's going down, and once you understand why that happens and how if there are investment strategies that take advantage of that. If you invest a little bit each month, it's got a fancy name, dollar cost averaging. If you just live on slightly less than you make, and you invest in that fashion, then you can take advantage of those.
So what kind of a percentage of whatever you make every year should be invested?
Our goal, the goal of the firm I work for is ideally 10%, which that's kind of the goal. If you can get to that point after a period of time, that's great. But the other big question that you should answer in your investments, are you maxing out the employer's match? If you're in active duty now or a GS, the government will offer you 5%. You have to get to that max match. If you don't get to that max match, then you're leaving their money on the table. So if you work for a big company like that, usually it's some companies still, a lot of companies, big companies offer a match. So you have to get their match. And so getting to that 10% sounds daunting, but if you've got an employer that's kicking in 4 or 5 and you're doing 4 or 5 to get to that, and then you're doing some of your own on IRAs and other accounts, then it's not as impossible as it sounds. Those are the two big things. How are you allocated? Do you have enough stocks or not? Last year was kind of an outlier in 2022. Gosh, 2022 is now 2 years ago. But in 2022, for the first time in 100 years, the stock market index and the bond index were negative. Usually stocks and bonds run in contra to each other. But because of the rising interest rates that the Fed imposed to combat inflation, the bond index also was down. So 2022 was one of those very, very rare periods where both of them didn't do much for you. Fourth thing that you should do this year, review your risk management. Risk management is the fancy word for your different kinds of insurances. And we've all got insurance, right? Nothing gets done in the world, whether it's tankers shipping from the Middle East or you driving down the road. Nothing happens without risk being insured. And so whether it's property and casualty, your deductibles, I mean, it's a very, when capitalism can run properly, there's a lot of competition in the marketplace. And so, yeah, there may be companies with outlier products and prices, but generally the market knows what people are doing and they'll try to be competitive. And so if you have a product, it's okay to shop the market, if you will, for risk management products, whether it's property and casualty. Products like health insurance change every year or so when you have your open season for Medicare. But with regard to what we do most often, it's life insurance. Many times people get a policy in their one part of their life with one situation, and then they don't look at it again. And if you're not, one of the things an advisor should do for you, even if it's not their product, hey, Rafe Daddy, I know you've got this policy from your best friend back in college 30 years ago, but bring it in. Let's see what's going on. And typically you'll find that we've got the incorrect beneficiary, or it's going to expire if it's a term policy. There's nothing wrong with term insurance. We have all kinds, term, permanent. But many times with term insurance, you have what's called a conversion window, which means without evidence of insurability, you can convert that temporary policy to a permanent policy of the firm that you're working for.
Really?
Which is pretty cool, because do people ever get uninsurable along the way? Chronic illness? Yeah, so that's a big deal. If you have a term policy and then your health changes, you need to know if your term policy is convertible, either through the commercial policy or maybe your workplace, if it's a workplace issued policy. But here's the catch. You may have a 20-year term policy and think that, well, I can just convert this thing up to the 20th year. Not so fast. Many insurance, I was just looking at a policy last week, the conversion window in this one particular firm and one particular policy, the conversion window ended 10 years into the policy. And so, yeah, so that's why you have digging out what you have, make sure you have the copy, read the fine print. Wow. And first and foremost, though, with your risk management, does it do what you want it to do? Does your home insurance cover a replacement or the contents? Does your life insurance, if you pass away, where's your family going to be set? Especially if you're an active duty person, before you go on that deployment, you ought to plug into your advisory firm and say, okay, if I don't come back, where does my family stand? And all the different government benefits that come to play in that situation. That was number 4. But review your risk management. And then last but not least, review your plan. What the heck's the plan? Your advisor that you might have should have. Most firms develop what they would refer to as a plan. Here we are today. You've told us where you want to be in the future. Here's how you're tracking to get there. One of the great improvements over the last 20 years is the proliferation of financial planning software. So if you crank in some goals that you and the advisor set up. You crank in your cash flow so we can get a projection of your Social Security benefits. We crank in your expected pension if you have access to one. And so we can put in these fairly well-known variables today, and using some conservative assumptions, we can see where you're going to be in 10, 20, 30 years and say, hey, you're on track, keep doing what you're doing, or no, we need to get closer to your IRA max contribution each year. Or so that's what a plan is, an analysis of where you're at the present, as well as it give you an idea of where you're going to be in the future. And it's very gratifying as an advisor when you review or update a plan for a client. And we're all dealing with the things in our daily life, our health, our kids, our family, the country. But when they come in to review their plan and they say, well, gosh, even though the world is crazy, we're headed in a pretty good direction. And I do have a pretty good shot at a reasonably comfortable retirement. What's that look like? That means, the house can be paid off. I can have $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month coming in. And that goes pretty far in Jacksonville, North Carolina. And then where am I going to get that $5,000 or $6,000? Well, 2 Social Securities if you're married, a pension maybe if you're a GS or military. So review your plan. If you don't have a plan, make your advisor get you a plan. All these people in all these places, they all have access to software. that might be complementary. Some firms it is, and it might have a small cost attached. That's okay. There's that old expression in the world, you get what you pay for, right? Mm-hmm. So if you get what you pay for, it doesn't matter what it is. And so, but the costs are very nominal, or they should be.
Okay. I want to take a break. Well, we'll come back, Joe. I want to ask you a question. When is it too late, or is it ever too late in life for somebody to seek out somebody like you? You're live and local Real Talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME, worldwide, WSME971.com.
Looking for a job? Full-time? Part-time? Il Cigno Italiano Restaurant wants you. We're currently hiring for hostesses, servers, bartenders, and dishwashers. Il Cigno Italiano is a family-owned, fast-paced restaurant that offers the best in fine dining on the Crystal Coast. If you're hardworking, reliable, professional, and have a desire to always strive for better, we want to talk to you. Make great money and be a part of an outstanding, dedicated team. Il Cigno Italiano on West Corbett Avenue in Swansboro.
Have you gotten your copy of Topsail Times newspaper this week? If not, did you know that Topsail Times is Topsail area's only local newspaper in print? Started a little over a year ago, we now have over 1,500 online subscribers and 5,000 printed copies that go out every 2 weeks. And we never charge our readers. Information should be free to our readers, and we stick by that. Looking for an idea for date night? Want to learn some local history? How about asking a veterinarian about your pet? These things and more are available in each copy of the Topsail Times newspaper. Want to get the word out about your business? We offer great rates for full-color ads, and the online paper version is always included for free. Need help designing the perfect ad? We can do that too. We're always looking for human interest stories, so start writing. And we love local photos too. Check out our website at topsailtimes.net, where you can find out where to pick up a copy or check out our latest publication online.
When you need comforting, who do you call? An old friend, right? Jacksonville Heating Contractors services the heating and cooling needs of our area with dependable quality train systems, guaranteeing indoor comfort for your home or business. In addition to quality train systems, Jacksonville Heating Contractors offers 24-hour emergency service, NATE certified technicians, and over 50 years of experience and service you can trust. And with a Jacksonville Heating Contractor service agreement, you never pay retail for heating or cooling services and receive priority scheduling. Remember, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And in New Bern, you can call Trent Heating and Air Conditioning 252-633-2200. In Morehead City, Sea Air Heating and Cooling 252-247-1122. If you need service or repairs, just call an old friend. Jacksonville Heating Contractors, an independent train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. For deals on train systems and more, visit anoldfriend.com or call 910-347-2843. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing specializes in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting. In fact, they paint most anything except cars, including homes, businesses, apartment complexes, decks, and they do minor repairs, wood repairs, pressure washing, waterproofing, and more, including storm repair and cleanup. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing, fully licensed, insured, and locally owned and operated by Roger Carroll Jr. References available and customer satisfaction is always guaranteed. So if you want to painted, maintained, power washed, or need a new roof, call Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, and Power Washing at 910-939-0749 or visit southerntouchpaintingnc.com. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing salutes our troops and is proud to be part of the continued growth of Onslow and surrounding counties.
It's live and local. Real Talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
And we're back in the studio with us, financial planner, all-around good guy, former co-host here with me, Joe McLaughlin. Did you hear that we have the first baby was born at Naval minutes after midnight?
Congratulations.
Yep, absolutely. What nice family there, apparently. Naval Medical Center welcomed the first baby of the new year for the medical center and Onslow County. Emery Ann White, born at 12:20 a.m. on the 1st. Baby Emery weighed 6 pounds, 4 ounces and measured 19.5 inches in length. For all of those who are interested, Emery is the daughter of U.S. Marine Corps Sergeant Jared White, who's assigned to 8th Engineer Support Battalion, 2nd Marine Logistics Group. Her brother, Madison White, is a Marine Corps veteran. Emery is the second child for the couple, who call Eastern North Carolina home. Their first daughter, by the way, was also born at Naval Hospital.
Congratulations.
So, congratulations. Yay.
Giving new new meaning to the expression "engineers up," first across the finish line.
There you go. And they probably need to get her invested in some kind of an investment program going right now, right?
Yeah, great segue. So the two popular accounts for young children are trust accounts, UTMA, Uniform Trust to Minors account, or what's called the 529. And the 529s had a really nice tax break incentive put into them last year under the Secure Act 2.0. But yeah, time you asked, and that ties into the question that you started with the break. Is it ever too late to dig into this? No, it's not too late. Whether you are 50 or 60 or 70, making the best use of your resources is always a good idea. Now, it's just a mathematical fact that compound interest, which is your best friend, hey boy, compound interest works best when you've got more time for money to compound, right? So there is that, but there's so much more to financial planning than just the compounding effect. And it's really, for most of it, it's not just about ourselves. We've got spouses, we've got children, we've got grandchildren. And if you look at it, if your nest egg is 5 figures or 6 figures or 7 or more figures, it's not just about you, but how you register accounts. In the last couple of years with COVID and everything, life expectancy has gone down, right?
Yep.
And so more and more people are concerned about, well, if I pass away, where do my investments go? If it's a 401k or an IRA, then you've got a beneficiary, right? Well, what if we both die together? Well, then is there a contingent beneficiary? And if it's not a qualified or retirement account, then you can have a feature called transfer upon death. Let's say a couple have an account that's registered jointly, and if one passes, the other gets it. But if they both pass, what happens to it? Well, normally it would pass into, and I'm not giving legal advice, can't do that. Normally it would pass into the estate, but if you have something called a transfer upon death feature attached to that account, then it'll escape probate and go to whoever you want.
Okay.
So no, it's never too late. Seek out a financial institution. If wherever your bank or credit union is, firm I work for, First Command, been in business over 60 years across the world. If you have a household income of greater than 75,000, we can work with them. But our niche is federal and military, retired and active. But get help. People who get help do better.
Yeah.
I see on here that IRA contributions are going up in 2024.
Yeah, a little bit.
Is that's a good thing?
Sure. If it's the old limit was $625 a month. If you're over 50, it's up a little bit more than that now. It's if you're just diving into the pool, it's kind of hard to max that out. But anything is better than nothing. And then you have what's called a catch-up contribution. Most of us, many people along the way, let's say I'm 50 or above, and last year I could only do $300 a month in my IRA. Well, that means at the end of the year, you still got room to fill in, right? So you have access to what's called a catch-up contribution. So between now and that catch-up contribution can be made all the way up until tax filing.
Okay.
So if you have been sitting on excess cash,
don't want to pay taxes on it,
you could create a IRA for last year, or if you have an IRA, you could contribute for last year. You have to make sure that the firm and the custodian knows it's a prior year contribution. So if, let's say, you had $10,000, and that's one of the first things that we do. Hey, Joe, I've got an excess of cash. What should I do with it? Well, we review high interest debt, how is savings, but one of the first things that we look at is, can we put more money into these IRAs? Why retirement accounts? Because when you put it in there, and whether it's a Roth IRA, which grows tax-free forever, or a traditional IRA, which will be taxable at some point, it's going to grow tax deferred along the way. So we try to maximize the benefit of these pots where money is growing tax deferred or tax free.
How about people who got, various stocks and whatever, and multi-type of agencies or organizations that you've invested in? Is it good to have multi-levels like that, or is it good to have pick the highest dollar return?
It's very hard to chase performance. The only one person in history could predict the future, and we'll celebrate his resurrection in the springtime, right? So it's in fact, there's a body of thought that says if you try to chase performance, then you'll get in too late. So, but maybe in your larger context is one thing I've noticed is as we get older and we're all not getting younger, there's a premium on keeping things simple, and it's whether it's too many individual stocks or too many mutual fund accounts. There's no reason that you need 8, 9, 10 different mutual fund accounts. So, especially if something traumatic happens and you pass prematurely, many times if somebody that has a complicated situation, it's usually their thing and not their spouse's thing. And so they pass away and the wife is left, or the husband is left, in a very complicated situation, and that doesn't need to be like that. But that gets back to that first step: inventory what you have. Do I really need 10 flavors of ice cream, or will a couple suffice? I've been fortunate to have some good results with my financial planning because I got a plan a long time ago, but I've only had 3 different mutual funds along the way.
Really?
Yeah. And they've been stock 98. My personal portfolio has been 98% stock for a long time, and I've taken my beat downs, and it's not pleasant, but
you bounce back.
Yeah. So asset allocation is critical, and now whether it's for you or for your future generations, and I won't talk too much out of school, but my father-in-law, he's done fairly well for a guy that worked in Sears parts department for 50 years and never got beyond the 11th grade. But he has been mostly fixed instruments cash, and that's okay. But it's not my place to go counsel him and say, well, we're really dealing with your daughters and your grandsons' inheritance. That's not my place to talk like that. But it's not just us; it's our spouses, it's our kids, it's our grandkids, and those things should be a part of that review with your advisor.
Okay. You got a question? Give us a call. Joe's here, and got some free advice for you right now. If you want to call, ask him a question or two, feel free to do so. 910-333-0139. 910-333-0139. You're live in local Real Talk. We'll be right back.
Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, your trusted local carrier indoor weather team. Serving all of your heating and air conditioning needs since 1967. Now offers residential and commercial duct and dryer vent cleaning. And now offers expert residential and commercial plumbing service. In case of a power outage due to a storm or for any other reason, be prepared with a Generac generator for your home or business. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning has Generac generators in stock, ready to install today. Remember, better breathing comes with cleaner air. Let Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning improve the air quality in your home or business with professional air duct cleaning. As always, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning is available 24/7 for all your heating, cooling, and plumbing emergency needs. Turn to the carrier experts, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, with locations in Jacksonville and Hampstead. Visit online, humphreyheating.com. And follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning since 1967. Relax. We're on the way.
Hello, shoppers, and Happy New Year from your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store where good things call Sles, down the street on the Richlands Highway, Jacksonville, and Main Street in Maysville. Beef back ribs, just $2.99 a pound. Whole bottom round Hollywood, just $3.59 a pound. Hog jowls, $1.99 a pound. How about single pack T-bone steaks, just $6.99 a pound? Pork spare ribs, just $1.79 a pound. 10 pounds or more fresh ground chuck, just $3.59 a pound. How about a 10-pound bag of fresh fryer leg quarters, just $4.99 for a 10-pound bag? And remember, the beef and pork is cut fresh every day by the butchers at your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store, and they use only the finest and certified Angus beef and Sanderson's Farm chicken. Over in produce, tender asparagus is just $1.99 a pound. Russet baking potatoes, 99 cents a pound. Zesty limes, great for those drinks, just 49 cents each. Western Honeycrisp apples, just $1.99 a pound. Sweet golden pineapples, $2.99 each. Hass avocados, 99 cents each. And crisp, fresh broccoli crowns, great for those salads, just $1.99 a pound. And you get 2-liter Cokes or Sprites. The pig price is 2 liters for just $3. That's your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store where good things cost less down the street on the Richlands Highway, Jacksonville, and Main Street in Maysville. Remember, say big with the P.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
It's live and local real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
And we are back live and local real talk. And our guest is Joe McLaughlin, financial planner. First Command.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yep. I thought I got it right. And you can access him anytime you want. Just Google it. And your telephone number is available. Set up an appointment.
910-577-1177. That's 910-577-1177. And ask for Alicia. Alicia will hook you up with an advisor to help you get squared away.
Either you or somebody else, huh?
Yeah.
They want you specifically? Just ask for you?
Give my name, yeah.
All right, Joe McLaughlin. If you want to ask him a question right now, now's your chance. Don't have to go through all that process. 910-333-0139. If you just got a burning question out there, hook us up.
And again, the 5 things that we talked about earlier this morning, the top 5 things that you should put on your to-do list for finance in 2024. First, inventory the stuff that sure you know what you got. Maybe that old 401k from a former employer, or an old life insurance policy your parents got you. Inventory. Second, schedule a review with your advisor. If you don't have one, get one. Your banks and credit unions all have them. Number 3, review your investments. If you don't know what % of your holdings are stocks and bonds, then there's a problem. You should know that off the tip of your tongue. Fourth thing to do, review your risk management, your life insurance, your auto insurance, your homeowner's insurance. Are you paying for things that you don't need? Has your health changed? And maybe your health and life insurance products have key features if your health has changed. And then last but not least, review your plan. What's a plan? A plan is an analysis of where you're at, but more importantly, where you could be if there was a catastrophic loss, somebody passing, or where are you going to be in 20 years if you keep doing what you're doing?
There you go. Okay, nobody's calling. That's weird, really weird. First of the year. Haven't had a phone call.
Yeah, it was a busy weekend for a lot of people.
Let's just check, see if the phone's working. So 910-333-0139. Joe, I know that you were on the Board of County Commissioners here in Onslow County. I forgot how many terms.
Just 2, 8 years. 8 years of fun and games.
Yeah, and then
me and old Delma, may he rest in peace.
Yeah, Delma was a classmate of mine. We were even in elementary school
I
together.
knew Delma when I was very young. We lived next door. to each
Delma introduced me to that phrase. You're not from around here, are you, boy?
That the first time you heard it was from Delma?
Yeah.
Oh wow. And then you run a couple times for office, public office.
My batting average is still above 500. I'm on the ballot 7 times, won 4.
There you go.
That's a way to look at it. And future political ambitions?
Decided not to get involved this time. Came close on a particular contest, but deferred. So maybe, but not any time in the next year or 2.
Okay. Now, this year is a huge political year. We got a major miss in Washington with the presidential race.
Right. So as you it's going to be a crazy year, the craziest in a long time. So as you consider the national or even the state level, decide on what's important to you. I think at the national level, there's a tendency to jump on the person. I say, well, I don't like Trump or I don't like Biden. But I would ask you to step back and think about what issues are most important for you. For me, having sworn to uphold the Constitution a couple of times in my military service, we know for a fact that both the CIA and the FBI put their fingers on the scale the last couple of elections. You should know who a guy named Kevin Kleinsmith is, the FBI lawyer who lied to the FISA court so they could spy on the Trump. You should go back and look at the Joe Rogan, Mark Zuckerberg interview where Mark Zuckerberg said, oh yeah, we spiked the Hunter Biden laptop story because the FBI told it was going to be disinformation. And they knew that was not the case. So for me, the driving issue is, do you want a federal government that's picking the emperor kind of like the Praetorian Guard did in ancient Rome, or do you want the people to pick the president?
Some of us have said probably way too often that we have to pick the lesser of two evils.
Yeah, and there is no perfect candidate.
No,
I don't like
absolutely
so-and-so
not.
because of X. Well, what about A, B, C, and D? You know, if you're in sync with your candidate, whether it's Democrat or Republican, if you're in sync with your candidate 3 out of 4 issues, you know, it's 75% in at the ballot box, that's a landslide.
Is this a year for a third party candidate to move forward? I mean, we had one guy trying it, and that was good old Ross Perot many years ago. But is this a year that it is a possibility? Not just to change the outcome of the election, which is what Ross did.
No, we're a two-party state. There is zero chance that a third-party candidate can win an election. But for sure, the third parties can influence an election. They, there's evidence that it cost Hillary greatly, and it would certainly affect this year's election. So, win, no; affect, absolutely.
Wow, Robert F. Kennedy as an independent.
Some stuff of his, I think, is good. I think the skepticism on the vaccine handling and COVID, and as well as what he's had to say about what happened to his uncle. Right? Wasn't JFK his uncle?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. And it's sinful. It's sinful. This guy has got no Secret Service protection, right?
Yeah, he's not an official candidate per se yet.
Yeah.
Don't know. And then, of course, there's a Joe Manchin who's been toying with, and other people say he just might jump in. Joe Manchin as an independent.
I don't think he could win, but a Manchin and someone else ticket from the no labels contingent, they could pull a lot of votes. And so, to your first point, sure, that could hurt one candidate, one side enough to cost the election.
Yeah. Any projections right now? We got Biden and Trump running.
I think Trump will be the candidate, but I'm not sure Biden comes out of the convention as the guy.
Really?
The Democrats are much more ruthless about making sure they have a viable ticket. Look what happened 4 years ago. I mean, we didn't know Bernie won Iowa, but they really wouldn't make that well known until a long time after. And then Biden lost New Hampshire, and then the Democratic power brokers said, "Look, we cannot have a Bernie get the ticket. We'll lose." And so they did what they had to do. All of a sudden, Buttigieg pulled out, all those other people pulled out,
and Kamala
got in, and then he won convincingly in South Carolina. So, even if Biden is the guy all the way through the convention, if it looks like Biden can't win, they'll do something at the convention to.
You think so?
Yeah.
Wow.
You can't.
It's going to be a volatile year, isn't it?
It's gonna be crazy.
The Hunter has so much evidence of criminality. If the Republicans play hardball, I think Biden pardons his son, and if he does that, he can't run for office. And he does love his son. So, what father, if they have a chance not to send their kid to jail or get their kid out of jail?
Well, he's to me, Biden's one and done for. I think he's just one and done. I don't care what he does at this point in time. Democrats are leaving or voicing their opinions. They cannot vote for Biden. So many of them.
Yeah. So, but what do you do?
What do they do?
Kamala is polling worse than he is.
She can't be.
You can't jump Kamala to the top of the ticket.
The only reason that the only reason Kamala pulled out of the last race was so she could be the VP nominee. That was a promise that was made, in my personal opinion. And then Joe was going to resign after 2 years. He's going to step aside. But the Democrats said, you cannot do that now.
But who would have thought when those, and I think you're probably not incorrect, but who would have thought that she would continue to poll so badly?
Nobody at that time.
And they're much more ruthless than most other political parties. They will not let her be the top of the ticket, knowing that she'll fail.
She will never. She will not be on the ticket.
So what do you do with the vice president? Well, the only thing that comes to mind that's of semi-equal stature is maybe a Supreme Court justice. And not for nothing, there've been a couple of Republican Supreme Court justices that are getting hammered for this, that, and the other thing. And so, if you can make life so miserable for a guy like Clarence Thomas to retire or be impeached, then maybe that creates a vacancy for her. Well, Kamala, you've earned this right, a lifetime appointment to the Supreme Court. We really want to clear the decks for you for a ticket. But so it's going to be the craziest 10 months of politics that I think we've seen in a long time.
Yeah. I'm almost looking forward to it, but I'm dreading it at the same time. I wish November were here and we could be done. Joe, thank you.
Thank you so much, ladies, gentlemen.
Appreciate you coming in. You're live and local, Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME. Fox News is now.
WSME, Camp Lejeune, W246 CJ, Jacksonville.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. 5 members of Japan's Coast Guard are killed when their plane is hit by a passenger jet landing on a runway in Tokyo. Everybody on the Japan Airlines plane got off before it burst into flames. The Coast Guard plane was bound for Western Japan with earthquake relief supplies. These 48 people are killed there.
They're talking about 1,000 homes completely destroyed. Rescue missions underway. A 7.5 magnitude. That is a very strong earthquake. But the good news is the tsunami warnings have been lifted in the area.
Fox with Janet Steen. And $842 million Powerball lottery tickets sold in Michigan.
This was the first time a Powerball jackpot's been won on New Year's Day since the game began back in 1992. In addition to the jackpot winner, there were several $1 million tickets sold in California, Connecticut, Florida, and Maryland. And another 2 tickets sold in Texas and Florida won $2 million prizes.
Fox's Ted Lindner. America's listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1
WSME.
It's live and local. Real talk.
Oh, it's good to have Joe in here. It's a wealth of information. He says, yeah, it's usually not good to mix politics with your business, but sometimes
He's got a lot of
he's a political warrior.
Yes.
Let's just put it that way.
He's out there.
He's definitely out there. Harvard students. Did you see what they did? Oh my goodness gracious. They wrote an editorial in the university student newspaper calling on embattled President Claudine Gay to resign from her position following weeks of allegations regarding anti-Semitism and plagiarism. These students. Wow. The piece was entitled, University President Claudine Gay should resign. Dissent for Harvard's sake. It's time to let Gay go. That's the way it began. Harvard's presidency is no mere empty honor. It's a deeply challenging managerial, deeply challenging duties, not least of which is navigating outcry. That's how the piece continued. In each of these respects, Gay has failed. Failed the students, stated that in their Harvard Crimson editorial, the Harvard Corporation must find a leader who can do better. Crimson opinion writers Brooks B. Anderson and Joshua A. Kaplan published their thoughts in a dissenting op-ed, which is not the official position of the paper. Occasionally, the Crimson editorial board is divided on an issue, giving dissenting board members the opportunity to express their opposition in a separate editorial. In addition to her controversial testimony before Congress and her botched public responses to the Israel-Hamas war following the October 7th terrorist attack, which included out-of-touch email after out-of-touch email to the student body, they said, which totaled 5 in the end, Anderson and Kaplan said the situation seems to worsen with every passing week as she appears to have plagiarized multiple portions of academic papers. Not all students have their heads buried in the sand. Good for these guys.
Yeah, seriously.
I applaud them for taking a stand.
It was a great editorial.
Yeah.
Very much so.
So I like what they did, and I like that students are stepping up to the plate, and not all students are just sitting back doing nothing.
Yeah. Hey, do you believe in superstitions?
Well, if you walk under a ladder, a paint bucket could fall on your head. So that's not just a superstition.
Well, I've never had that happen yet, but
Do you walk under ladders?
I walked under ladders, to get to the other side.
Why don't you walk around?
I couldn't. It's like in a hallway to where you have limited room to get around it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, rather than drag it all the way back out of the hallway to
gotcha.
drag it all the way back in. But
So you risked life and limb.
no,
You didn't
I've
think
gotten-
so. So do you believe in superstitions?
Not really, but here's some 12 New Year's Day superstitions and beliefs.
Oh,
Let's
boy.
see if you believe in any of this. Number 1, do not do any laundry on New Year's Day. You will wash all your fortunes away.
No.
Okay. Number 2, allow a man with money in his pockets to be the first person who walks through your home on New Year's Day to bring wealth and financial stability.
If that guy's that dude who used to be on Johnny Carson, bring it on.
Eat greens and black-eyed peas for wealth.
I didn't eat greens, but I ate some black-eyed field peas.
I did yesterday. It's the first time ever I've done that on New Year's.
I don't like black-eyed peas. I like black-eyed field peas.
What's the difference?
One of them's dry and tasteless.
My beans were superb.
Mine were too. I had some this morning.
All right. Fix a pan of cornbread for wealth. It represents gold coins.
Never heard of that.
Yeah. A midnight kiss to strengthen your relationship.
Sure.
There you go. Open your front and back door to allow good luck in and bad luck out.
Never heard it.
I didn't do that.
I got too many doors.
Make lots of noise at midnight when the new year rolls in to shoo away the bad spirits.
Well, that's where the fireworks come in, right?
No, that's where I was sleeping.
I went to sleep about 2 minutes after midnight.
I was asleep before then. Okay, number 8. Enter the new year with a stocked pantry. You have that.
I got it.
All right.
And a
Don't
freezer.
clean your house on New Year's Day.
Well, I guess we didn't exactly clean it, but we did de-decorate it.
Well, I painted a ceiling. So I guess I got bad stuff coming in. Okay. Don't cry on New Year's Day, as it could set the tone of your entire year.
Well, I can understand that. What else?
Here's a weird one. Do not eat lobster on New Year's Day
I ate
because
it. Let's see, when did I eat it? I ate it Christmas night.
well, they say because these animals move backwards, rather eat pork because they are forward moving animals. Okay, the last one.
Lobsters can kind of fly backwards in the water, but they move forward on the bottom when they're walking.
Okay. Here's the last one. Carry an empty suitcase throughout your home on New Year's Day, as it will bring more chances of travel through the year.
Whoopee. Hey, Tim, how are you? Happy New Year.
Man, yeah, happy New Year to y'all. I got one for you. My daughter called me Monday afternoon.
Uh-huh.
She was going to have to work. She was going to get off about 9 o'clock. She was coming home. Okay. She said, I need some grapes.
Need some what?
Some
Gravy?
What kind of grapes? Grapes.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and grapes. I said, okay, what do you need? She said, well, what you're supposed to do at the stroke of midnight was get underneath the kitchen table and eat 12 grapes by the 12th stroke and make 12 wishes. I said, "Are you lost your mind?"
Uh-huh.
Isn't that a Latino?
But I went to the Piggly Wiggly and got her a bag of grapes. She got home by 11:30, and sure enough, I was asleep on the recliner. My wife woke me up. Said she's under the table. I said, "You've got to be kidding." So yeah, she did that. She had 12 wishes. So I've never heard it in my life.
She made that up.
I've heard that, but I think that's a
I
Latino
thought that.
thing. I think that was a
I
Latino
don't have
superstition.
Any idea. It's crazy. Well, it's crazy.
So is she Latino?
No, she's not. Not as far as I know of. She's 29 years old. She's single, not even dating, and I tell her that's a great thing. But she said she hopes to find her a nice fella, and I keep getting on her. I said, "Look, Sugar, they ain't but one of me, and you're not going to find another me." And I said, and she always says, "Thank God." She said, "I'm not going to have a back or two." neck for a husband. I'm not going to have it. And I said, that's exactly what you're going to wind up with before it's all over with. I'm telling you.
Here it is right here.
I got it right here too.
Do you? Go ahead.
While the 12 grapes tradition has its roots in Spain, it has evolved over time. It's now intertwined with a Latin American custom of sitting under a table and an Italian tradition of wearing red undergarments for good luck and love. Give her a call. Ask her if she wore red underwear.
As a matter of fact, she did.
Oh, no.
She said she did, yeah. Of course, she was telling her mama about the underwear part. And okay. I forgot all about that part. But yeah.
Each grape represents a different month, and you're supposed to eat the new grape on each bell strike.
Oh, my.
That's what she said. Yeah.
That's
crazy. She took her phone out and got an app and looked it up and got a clock, and it rang 12 times on her phone, and she ate a grape. No, I'm not.
Oh,
kidding.
my God.
But I do have a bad note for you. A guy, a good friend of mine, lost his life yesterday duck hunting.
Lost his life duck hunting?
He was duck hunting. He went duck hunting, and I ain't got the whole complete. So I don't know if he fell out of the boat or got knocked out of the boat. But he was doing the one thing that I was always taught as a kid from up to now. You never ride in a boat with your on, because if you fall overboard, you're going to drown.
Yep. Waders or hip boots, either one.
Yep. And I'm pretty sure that's why. I don't know if they got knocked out, because I boys were going duck hunting, and I told them, I said, guys, you're going to be on a boat. You got to understand, we had about a 4-inch rain last week. And I said, the river rose up real high, and you're going to be a lot of logs in the river. Be careful. Be floating down. So I don't know. I just got the call last night that he died.
Oh, I'm sorry
to hear
With
that.
my wife, about 35 years old. And
Where was this?
I don't know. I don't know if he was in New River or what, but he was duck hunting. I just
Is it
got the call
Onslow
last
County?
night. I think it was Onslow. I'm not sure. All I got was a phone call last night.
Oh, man. So sorry.
I am too. I mean, good up and coming career guy. He worked for the USDA, and he was young, and he was moving on up the ladder. And it was just it's tragic. It's a tragedy anyway. But you know, a young guy, and him and his wife were just trying to get ready to start a family, and it's pitiful. It really is. But I didn't want to say that note. Folks, hunters, you guys, if you're riding in the boat, don't be wearing your waders. Put them on when you get stopped.
And I'm telling you, this time of year, the water is cold. All right.
Yeah.
For you fishermen who don't normally wear a life jacket, give it some serious thought. You can easily fall over. You get excited, you reach for that net, you got that big speckled trout or a red drum on it, and you reach up and you fall overboard. The water is cold. If you can't get back in your boat right away, you don't have very long before you're not going to die of hypothermia. If you cannot get out of the water and get warm, you're going to drown, because after a short period of time in 50-degree water, you are not going to be able to stay afloat.
No.
Put your life jacket on. That gives you an extra chance of somebody getting there in time to help you or to pull your butt out of the water.
Exactly.
And don't go out there alone.
No, I don't think he was alone, but
but
I'm not
the
sure.
waiter,
I ain't got no nuts and bolts of it all.
yeah,
I just
well,
got the call last night.
the waiter's got him, no doubt, probably
Waiter's
good possibility.
I guarantee, and that's what I told my wife when we got the call. I said he's wearing waders, guarantee. And she said, "Well, don't a lot." I said, "No. If you look, a lot of you fishermen, they'll wear spacefaring sneakers and they'll wear a rain suit.
Yep.
But that's a little bit different, because you fill up, and them waders fill up with water, you gonna sink.
There's no way, and you can't get them off either.
No, you can't. No, you can't. But I just want to put that note in. You fellas out there doing hunting, I love all hunting and fishing.
Me too.
I mean, I don't do it myself. I don't have time. I just please be careful, and that is a tough mistake to do.
Yep, absolutely.
But no, I didn't want to pull that in there. I didn't want to stress that this morning. I won't give out any more details.
Yeah, I don't. No, I don't want to do that.
Next game. But I just wanted to stress that he's, like I say, he's a great kid. I called him a kid. He was up and coming, and it's just very,
Very sad. Very sad.
Well, y'all be good.
All right. Happy New Year, sir.
Happy New Year, Tim.
Happy New Year to y'all.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Got another caller here. Good morning. Who's this?
Good morning. This is Bill.
Hey, Bill. How you been? I've been wondering where you were.
I've been listening and just, people, I haven't had much to say.
Okay.
But I was listening to Tim, and it's awful what happened to the guy falling out of the boat, or if that's what happened. But something I was thinking of for operating a long time outside in the cold, especially like in a boat where you can't move around a lot, would be wearing a wetsuit under your clothing to keep one. It's going to keep you very warm, and at the same time, should you fall over, you're not going to drown. The suit will float you very well.
Yeah, well, wetsuits do float, and they can keep you alive, absolutely, in cold water. I've been in some really cold water with the wetsuit.
It's just something I was thinking of, and especially if you're sitting still on a boat for hours, you're going to get pretty chilled, and that would keep you warm too.
Well, it'll help
if you have one.
It'll help keep you warm, but the principle a wetsuit works on is they get a really thin layer of water between the skin and the wetsuit, and your body heats it up very rapidly. So it's like you got a hot water bottle.
Yes.
Yeah, it keeps that inside the suit with you. I was warmed up like when you're outside, and if you had cans of food, just put them inside your jacket, down your shirt, and at least warm it up to your body temperature, So if you're gonna eat if you're gonna eat something, that at least you got something that's body temperature warm,
There you go. So, just don't build a fire in the boat.
Oh no!
Fiberglass burns pretty good.
Yeah, no fire in a boat, and keep the water out. And those are the two primary rules of boating.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, Bill.
Thanks, Bill.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Let's take a break. You're live and local. Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM. WSME. Weather is next.
For 40 years now, people throughout Jacksonville and Onslow County have trusted Barnes Diamond Gallery for all their jewelry needs for every special occasion. They understand that every day is a special event for someone, whether celebrating a wedding, anniversary, birthday, engagement, or graduation. Let Barnes Diamond Gallery for you. Barnes Diamond Gallery does on-site repair, quality, and selection of diamonds, diamond fashion bands, pendants, earrings, gemstone rings, and necklaces for anyone for any occasion. Major credit cards accepted. Layaway available. Barnes Diamond Gallery offers appraisals and paid top market prices for gold and silver. Barnes Diamond Gallery, 461 Western Boulevard, Suite 120, Jacksonville. Open 9:30 to 5:30, Monday through Friday. The best deal for the grill is at Jones LP Gas and Oil Company each Friday. Every Friday from 8 a.m. till closing at 5, Jones LP Gas and Oil Company will fill your 20-pound LP gas grill cylinder for only $11. You heard that right. Each Friday till closing, you can have your 20-pound LP gas cylinder filled for only $11 at Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 Wilmington Highway in heart of Verona. In addition to saving money on your LP gas for the grill, Jones Gas and Oil is your full-service gas and oil company serving residential, commercial, and agricultural gas and oil needs, as well as gas appliances, LP replacement, parts, fill cylinders, and tankless water heaters, and they offer a 10% military discount on installation. Remember to get that cylinder filled every Friday until closing for only $11. Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 the Old Wilmington Highway, Verona. Phone 910-346-6384.
Mohawk All Pet Protection and Warranty is the only copper protection and warranty for all pets, all accidents, all the time. Because your pets are family members too. No matter how you live, we've got you covered. Soft, luxurious, smart strand, forever clean carpet. Gorgeous, durable, solid tech, luxury vinyl tile. Mohawk has the ultimate floor for every room in your home. It's suitable for all pets. For details, contact Watkins Floor Covering online at watkinsnewfloor.com. Watkins Floor Covering, thanking you for voting them the best of the best for 2022 in the flooring, covering, and carpet cleaning category. Watkins Floor Covering. They're more than just floors. It's custom showers, custom tubs, carpet cleaning, backsplashes, bathrooms, commercial, retail, and home flooring too. Watkins Floor Covering, family owned and operated since 1997, with locations in Jacksonville and Surf City. Watkins Floor Covering, you stand on it, we stand behind it.
It's live and local Real Talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Okay, we're back, and I'm looking for weather. I think I found it. Down, it's sometimes it's a difficult thing. The Tideline Marine family wishes one and all a very happy New Year. The doors will open tomorrow morning for the Christmas holidays. They've been closed since just before Christmas. They opened through the 23rd, I think it was. They've been closed since then. We'll open at 8:30 tomorrow morning. There will be a whole bunch of fine people out there who want to help you. If this is the year for your new boat, don't wait until warm weather to take the plunge. No doubt there will be fewer boats in the coming months because they're going to get sold, and it's impossible to know exactly when replacements will arrive. The luxurious Aloha pontoon boats, 4 of them are in stock right now. If you're into shallow water fishing for red specks, sheephead, spots, and those kinds of fish, you're sure to love the quality and versatility of the Lund fishing boats. Thinking about nearshore or offshore runs to the waters, the big blue water where the big fish really like to play? Well, Aqua Sports Center consoles might be exactly what you need. Of course, new American-made, American Power outboards from 15 to 300 horses are awaiting your visit to Tideline Showroom. Stop in, get acquainted with the staff there. If you haven't been lately, or perhaps you're new to the area, check out the supplies the store carries. If you're having problems with your motor, might be wise to get it in for servicing. The technicians get kind of booked up when the weather turns warm. Tideline Marine, 159 Old Bridge Street, on the banks of the New River in downtown Jacksonville. Small craft advisory remains in effect through this afternoon. Offshore today, northerly winds 20 to 25 knots, becoming northwesterly 15 to 20 in the afternoon. Gusts, though, up to 30 knots. Seas 4 to 6 feet. Dominant period kind of short, 4 seconds. Sounds and rivers rough, diminishing to choppy late this afternoon. Westerly winds tomorrow, 10 to 15 knots. Seas 2 to 3. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop. Thursday, northwesterly winds 10 to 15, increasing to 15 to 20 in the afternoon. Then 20 to 25 in the evening. Ooh. Seas 3 to 5 feet. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop, increasing to choppy in the afternoon, then becoming rough in the evening.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
And today is going to be sunny with a high near 49. Northwest wind 8 to 11 miles per hour with gusts as high as 18. Tonight, clear with a low around 28. Wednesday, mostly sunny with a high near 56. Calm wind becoming southwest 5 to 8 miles per hour in the morning. Wednesday night, mostly cloudy with a low around 37 with a 70% chance of rain after. Thursday day, a slight chance of showers before 1 p.m. Mostly sunny with a high near 52. Northwest wind 5 to 10 miles per hour, increasing 11 to 16 in the afternoon, and wind can gust as high as 22.
Tell me, what do you think of when you think of a transgender actress? What is that?
Someone that portrays himself as an actor, does movies, does shows.
What is the sex of a transgender?
Transgender would be, I could make a joke, but well, it depends. Is she a female identifying as a male or a male identifying? She could play both roles,
If
in
it's
other
a
words.
person who's identifying itself, I'm going to use that word right now,
Itself, right.
as a transgender actress, is it a biological male, biological female?
I would think it's a biological male portraying itself as a female when you say actress.
Okay, so transgender actress Tommy Dorfman.
Okay.
Tommy Dorfman claimed that workers for Delta Airlines intentionally misgendered her and committed a human rights violation while standing by the departure. Committed a human rights violation following a viral video of the incident. In a short clip posted to TikTok on Christmas Eve, 31-year-old Dorfman, Tommy Dorfman, said, "And what about when a Delta employee misgenders you intentionally while standing by the departure gate?" Referring to Dorfman, the worker can be heard saying, the worker now at Delta Airlines, while he's talking before being cut off. You just misgendered me again. It wasn't intentional. But if you want to take it personal, that's also okay, the worker says. Dorfman then claims one of the worker's colleagues intentionally misgendered her twice. You're being condescending if you want to continue, the worker said. I'll have Port Authority escort you out of the building right this moment if you want to play that game with me. Would you like to continue 3 days before Christmas? I really don't mind. Dorfman revealed the employee is named Tristan and said he was fine with the footage being posted to social media following the incident at LaGuardia Airport in New York. In her TikTok caption, Dorfman wrote she did not realize it was condescending to flag a human rights violation after another employee misgendered me incessantly. I am so confused.
I'm confused listening to this.
I'm just
Let me
confused.
ask you this. Have you ever met somebody and you look at them and you're not sure and you try to
Yes, Pat.
use
Remember that person that was named Pat on some movie? Didn't know whether it was male or female?
No, I don't remember that movie.
Oh my God. I forgot the name of the movie. But
have
yes.
you not met somebody in public and you didn't know whether to say sir or ma'am, or you just try to get your brain engaged to where you can say things that were polite, but yet not putting emphasis on either sex?
Yes.
I mean,
what do you call them?
Just, hey, how you doing? And I was always taught, and I still do it, even people that I meet for the first time that may be younger.
Hello, sir or ma'am, whatever you
I
are.
always say sir and ma'am to them. And it's just a sign of being respectful and courteous. But nowadays, sometimes it's very, very hard.
Yeah, because people take offense.
Because, I mean,
We were
get
working
over it.
We were working an undercover thing in Wilmington for Vice.
Yes.
Okay, downtown.
Mhm.
And we were really confused by one of the streetwalkers.
Okay.
She looked really great for a streetwalker.
For a streetwalker.
Really
okay.
great. It was a he.
Did you have to pat her down?
No, I did not. We didn't get that close. But
oh my gosh.
we finally found the Adam's apple.
Oh, yeah. Imagine. That would have been surprising as you're patting her down and like, oh.
My goodness gracious. A dive team in Florida claims to have found the body of a woman who went missing 11 years ago. Sunshine State Sonar, that's the name of the company, said their search team located the body of Sandra Lemire submerged in a van in a pond near Disney World. The group posted photos and videos of a red van being pulled from the pond in Orlando. According to police, Lemire was last seen leaving her grandmother's home in Orlando in 2012. Police said she was on her way to Kissimmee, I think it is, to meet a man online through a dating service. Police said she frequently met and dated men through the internet. She was last seen leaving Kissimmee restaurant, driving her grandmother's 2004 red Ford Freestyle van. Likely they have... that is going to be her. They're waiting autopsy results for positive identification. Wow. That's a shame.
That is a shame.
3 members of a Kinston family are safe following a Saturday night fire that destroyed their mobile home. Tragically, 5 dogs were trapped inside the burning home and died. Heavy flames could be seen as firefighters from several fire departments arrived. The home and 2 cars parked nearby were totaled. The county's fire marshal is investigating, hoping to determine the cause of that fire.
How devastating.
The
home, let it burn if that's what it's going to do. But my dogs.
Get your dogs out if you can, but don't, you can't risk yourself. Have you ever been to a mobile home fire when it first started?
I've seen them. Yes.
Oh, they had a sweep. There was a mobile home sales lot, intersection of 24 and on Johnson Boulevard and Marine Boulevard back in the 70s. Wind was blowing. Apparently, somebody was inside one of these for sale mobile homes trying to stay out of the cold and build a little fire or something. It caught fire. It burned several of those mobile homes. It swept through them.
Boxes.
They are tinder boxes.
Wow.
So it was Fire department's only a block away, and they put everything they had on it, and they could not stop it. The U.S. southern border saw its highest rate of illegal migrant encounters last month, blowing away previous stats. Sources with Customs and Border Patrol confirmed that migrant encounters hit a staggering over 300,000 incidents in the last month of 2023, reaching a level thought unimaginable just a few years ago. Between December 1st and the 31st, more than 302,000 migrants were documented attempting to cross the U.S. southern border. It's the largest total for a single month ever recorded. It's also the first time migrant encounters have exceeded 300,000. More than 785,000 migrant encounters have been reported since the beginning of the fiscal year. That was on October the 1st. Republicans continued to blame the surge on the policies of the administration, including the ending of Trump-era policies, while the administration says it is dealing with a hemisphere-wide challenge and needs more funding and immigration reform legislation from Congress. Give me some more money and let them come in free. Yeah, right. Officials in Texas nationwide, a plane load of migrants will go Rockford International Airport in Illinois on the 31st. Mayor Michael Gonelli of New Jersey reported that busloads of migrants headed to New York City have stopped in his town's train station, attempting to circumvent the city's regulations on migrant arrivals. Last week, Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas were part of a U.S. delegation to Mexico City, where they met with President Andre Manuel Lopez Obrador. In the joint statement, the countries affirmed their commitments to orderly, humane, and regular migration and stressed their efforts to tackle root causes of migration, disrupt human smuggling, and promote private investment while also investing in ambitious development programs in the region. What did they miss there? How about how about stopping the flow of killer drugs like fentanyl from getting into Mexico, much less then being smuggled across the southern border into the U.S. of A? No mention of that.
Right.
But the joint statement said that officials discussed the benefits of granting some form of legal status for illegal immigrants already in the U.S., including those protected by the 2012 Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, DACA, an executive order signed by President Barack Obama, which shielded some illegal immigrants who arrived in the U.S. as minors. Really?
Interesting. Well,
really,
I don't see that much is going to be done during the 2024 year as far as closing these borders.
No, it's not going to be done.
It's not going to. Everything is going to be focused on who's running.
Think that Biden will take any action that will make him look like he was a fool for the first 3 years of his office, first 3 years of his reign of terror. I don't think that anything that he does now will have any impact on his outcome, unless he wants to give each one of us $1 million.
Wow.
Would you vote for him if he gave you $1 million?
No.
I would say that I would.
Yes, certainly. Yeah.
Give me the $1 million.
Who's going to stand behind me when I fill out the ballot?
Nobody. They can't.
Right.
It's illegal.
That's right. Sure, I'll vote for you.
Trust me.
Oh, no, I'm in a quandary. I'm just going to have to wait and see how 2024 balances out before. Here's one of our viewers. Says Hershey has been sued by a Florida woman who said its holiday-themed Reese's peanut butter candies lack the artistic details shown on the packaging that make them worth buying. In a proposed
false advertising, right?
Federal class action filed on Thursday and seeking at least $5 million, Cynthia Kelly accused Hershey of deceiving reasonable consumers by falsely promising that his candies would contain explicit carved out artistic designs. She said she would have not had paid the $4.49 in October at an Aldi's for a bag of Reese's peanut butter pumpkins had she known that the candies not only lacked the cute-looking carved eyes and mouth shown on the packaging, but any carvings at all. This world has gone crazy.
We are nuts. They're nuts. Let's take a break. You're live in local Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Looking for a time, part-time? Il Cigno Italiano Restaurant wants you. We're servers, bartenders, and dishwashers. Il Cigno Italiano, a family-owned, fast-paced restaurant that offers the best in fine dining on the Crystal Coast. If you're hardworking, reliable, professional, and have a desire to always strive for better, we want to talk to you. Make great money and be a part of an outstanding, dedicated team. Il Cigno Italiano on West Corbett Avenue in Swansboro.
Hurricane season is here, and if you're not prepared, now's the time to visit Williams Hardware, 3011B Bridges Street, Morehead Plaza in Morehead City. Whether for the contractor or do-it-yourselfer, Williams Hardware has the tools and accessories to help protect against high winds and water. Williams Hardware carries power tools and equipment, chains and fasteners, plumbing and electrical supplies. Williams Hardware, your helpful handy hardware store, also cuts glass to size and cuts and threads pipe. When the chores are done and the cleanup is finished, light up that Wilmington Grill for Williams Hardware, 3011B Bridges Street, Morehead Plaza in Morehead City. Williams Hardware is open Monday through Saturday from 7:30 till 6 p.m. and Sundays for your convenience, noon till 5. Phone Williams Hardware, 252-726-7158, and be prepared this hurricane season.
If your plans include hitting the road this year to do some traveling, make sure a visit to Silent Service Center is on your to-do list. Travel safety starts with the tires on your vehicle, and a visit to Silent Service Center will give you peace of mind with the best value in all name brand tires and the largest selection of used tires in this area. In addition to quality tires, Silent Service Center is a North Carolina inspection station and does complete brake service, oil changes, and alignment service. Silent Service Center, 1707 Lejeune Boulevard, Jacksonville, and 108 West Main Street, Havelock. Phone 910-353-4760.
It's live and local. Real Talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
And we're back. 3 people have been charged in connection with a shooting that killed an off-duty Greensboro police sergeant.
Hallelujah.
They charged Jamera Justice Foster, 18, Zakira Pierce Blackwell, also 18, and John Walter Morrison, who's 28, after Sergeant Philip Dale Nix was killed Saturday at the Sheetz gas station on Sandy Ridge Road in Colfax. That's just outside Greensboro. Mm-hmm. According to arrest warrants, the trio were attempting to steal cases of beer that they were intending to sell later to purchase drugs.
All that over beer.
The warrants say what they did manage to steal amounted to $3.45, and they killed a cop who had, I think he was like 22 years on the force. He was off duty.
Yes, he
was. He saw them doing what, and cops are maybe off duty, but they're always cops.
Exactly. And that's the first time ever I gotten a blue alert. And the first thing I thought of was the law enforcement when it said blue. Mm-hmm. But I Googled it and looked it up. And sure enough, it was a law that was enacted in 2015 that the blue alert. And they
had a good description on the vehicle, including the tags. And,
yes, they did.
And it was a rental car.
Wow. It just all over.
Foster is charged with first-degree murder, larceny, conspiracy to commit larceny, and is held with no bond. Blackwell is charged with accessory after the fact of first-degree murder and is held under a $500,000 bond. Morrison is charged with accessory after the fact of first-degree murder, larceny, and conspiracy to commit larceny, and is held without bond. Additional charges may be forthcoming as the investigation continues. Wow. He served 23 years with the police.
That was horrible, horrible story to have to hear.
Oh, my God.
Well, here's one in Bertie County.
Loving husband, father, son, and brother.
He had 22 years, I believe you
20,
said.
23 years.
23 years on the force.
23 years.
Wasn't he a shift commander or something?
Yes, he was a watch commander.
Watch commander.
He also had assignments including Criminal Investigations Division, Patrol Corporal, Patrol Sergeant. Most current assignment was as supervisor of the Family Victims Unit. He's also a team leader for the peer support team for over 12 years and was the current assistant team leader of the Greensboro PD Honor Guard.
Well, here's one that happened over the weekend in Bertie County. Deputies in the East are asking for the public's help locating a wanted person believed to be involved in a shooting this morning, and this was on Saturday morning. Larkel LaTroy Brown of Lewiston is a black male, 6 foot tall, estimated 160 pounds, short hair, cut near bald, several tattoos on arms. Brown is wanted for a shooting that occurred Saturday morning at 5:58 a.m. on East Church Street in Lewiston. Brown was in dispute this morning with 2 females at his residence.
Saturday morning, right?
Yes, Saturday morning. Thank you. As I read that, I was like, eh. As the females were leaving his residence, Brown fired one shot into the vehicle's passenger area in the face and left side of her body. Shot is expected to survive. Now, get the warrant was conducted at Brown's residence, and several firearms were seized. And Brown is a convicted felon.
Yeah, go figures.
Yep.
That's where we continue to fail.
That's right.
We continue to fall down on the job here.
Right.
California man and his 10-year-old son have been arrested. Authorities say the son fatally shot another 10-year-old boy with his father's gun. 53-year-old Arcate Davis and his son were detained in Sacramento after the boy found a gun inside of his father's vehicle and shot another boy with the gun. The child was charged with murder, while Davis faces several felony firearm-related charges, a charge of child endangerment, and an accessory after the fact charge. Davis is currently being held under a $500,000 bond. Get this. This is the way things go down. Deputies responded to reports of a shooting about 4:30 in the afternoon Saturday. When they arrived, police found an unresponsive juvenile bleeding from his head and neck. The boy was transported to the hospital by the Sacramento Metro Fire Department. He was pronounced dead.
So sad.
Witnesses told police at the scene that those responsible ran into a nearby apartment, prompting deputies to then detain an adult and 2 juveniles. Based on the detectives' investigation, they learned one of the juveniles that they had detained, also the 10-year-old male, went to his father's vehicle to get him cigarettes. He then took a gun from inside the vehicle and bragged that his father had a gun. He then proceeded to shoot the victim once and ran into a nearby apartment. Davis, the office said, was legally prohibited from owning or possessing a firearm, is alleged to have attempted to dispose of the weapon in a nearby trash can following the shooting. The recovered gun was also stolen in 2017. Davis' son was taken to the Sacramento County Youth Detention Facility. Davis brought to the Sacramento County Main Jail. His court appearance is tomorrow. The victim's aunt described him as smart, very intelligent, kind, loving, respectful, and as someone with a whole life to live. He wasn't even outside for 15 minutes, she said, adding that her nephew went outside to ride his bike before the shooting, and the little boy shot my nephew. Now, my nephew's blood is on y'all's hand. She added, y'all all allowed y'all's son to do this to my 10-year-old nephew.
What? Yeah, okay. Yeah, and
She's
I got
blaming
the
the
gist of
family.
it. Right. I got the gist of that. But, you know, when I owned a gun store and we gave lessons on the use of firearms, we also taught classes to teach children. We also taught children classes on what to do if you see a weapon.
It's a safety thing.
And
Yes.
I think you as a parent, if you're going to own weapons, you need to teach your children. I mean, you need to keep it locked up and out of the way, which that's the first thing, but you also need to school your children on what to do if you see a firearm laying about. First thing is don't touch it and go get an adult.
Yes. Leave it alone.
Yes.
And don't let anybody else around it.
That's right. It's just, but most every story we've read this morning, the person owning the gun have been convicted felons.
Yes.
And I do think it's time for us to strengthen our laws concerning that. And in other words, if you're convicted of that and you're owning and you own a weapon, you get caught. And I think it should be some severe time.
Yep. Georgetown University professor who spent 12 years as a CIA intelligence analyst is warning that diversity, equity, and inclusion, the DEI efforts, and the overall politicalization of the intelligence community have become a significant problem, and that he is confident those agencies will attempt to interfere with the 2024 election, similar to the efforts in 2020.
Go figure.
Here we go again.
Here we go. Let me let this one. Digging at the door.
Within days of the bombshell New York Post story that detailed the contents of Hunter Biden's laptop and the lead up to the 2020 election, 51 former intelligence officials signed onto a letter in an attempt to discredit the laptop, saying it has all the classic earmarks of a Russian information operation. 51 intelligence officials signed a letter that it has the laptop had all the classic earmarks of a Russian information operation. No, it did not. It did not. It was a fact, Jack.
When are we going to see all this?
The CIA approved the publication of the infamous Hunter Biden laptop letter. Wow. So, that's not the agency that I've come to respect. Just like the FBI. I like the FBI. I like the brick agents, as John Legato calls them, the men and women who actually work,
yes,
not the bureaucratic appointed.
The brick agents.
Yeah,
Yes.
the politicians.
Yes.
We're going to take a break. We'll come back. We're going to talk about a little bit of sports.
Yes.
WSME.
Yes.
Schedule coming up. Happening on Thursday, the first one, covering a ball game. You're live and local, Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro reminds you to check your mailbox and find your quote on homeowners insurance. Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro goes the extra mile to make sure you're in good hands, like helping you customize your home and windstorm coverage with their Write Your Own home policy. Yes, save even more when you bundle your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, and even your golf cart. Remember, if it rolls or floats, call Tammy for a quote. You and everything you own are in good hands with Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro. Call today, 910-326-5383. Tammy Fry Allstate, 638 West Corbett Avenue in the friendly city by the sea, Swansboro. Check your mailbox today for savings on your homeowner's insurance.
Have you gotten your copy of Topsail Times newspaper this week? If not, did you know that Topsail Times is Topsail area's only local newspaper in print? Started a little over a year ago, we now have over 1,500 online subscribers and 5,000 printed copies that go out every 2 weeks. And we never charge our readers. Information should be free to our readers, and we stick by that. Looking for an idea for date night? Want to learn some local history? How about asking a veterinarian about your pet? These things and more are available in each copy of the Topsail Times newspaper. Want to get the word out about your business? We offer great rates for full-color ads, and the online paper version is always included for free. Need help designing the perfect ad? We can do human interest stories, so start writing. And we check out our website at topsailtimes.net, where you can pick up a copy or check out our latest publication online.
Welcome to Lincoln & Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you smile. Now proud to be working with Doctors Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lane & Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing dental experience. The offices of Lane & Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major insurances, including military. Lane & Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry. Great Gas and Oil Company, and of course, Wismart and Chappie's Chicken, located at 4111 Gum Branch Road, right here in Jacksonville. And 633 Sandridge Road, Hubert, has all you need when it comes to convenience for gas, cold beverages, and a great selection for quick pickup essentials. Enjoy fresh, not frozen, delicious meals at Chappie's Chicken, located inside Wismart, 4111 Gum Branch Road, and 633 Sandridge Road, Hubert. So if you're in a hurry, get it all. Gas, ice cold beverages, convenience store items, and delicious, fresh, not frozen, Chappie's Chicken at Wismart, 4111 Gum Branch Road, Jacksonville, and 633 Sandridge Road, Hubert.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Okay, and we're back live on Local Real Talk. And Kelly had to leave, by the way. We forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
She had another appointment somewhere. The Onslow Classic, Onslow County Classic.
Yes.
Team, they wound up over the weekend.
Yes, they did. And congratulations to Swansboro.
Swansboro defeated Richlands. Well, Southwest defeated Richlands for third place. Jacksonville. Lejeune defeated Dixon for seventh place. Jacksonville defeated Northside for fifth place. And Swansboro.
Yes, they made history. Says
congratulations, guys.
According to Chris Miller's Jacksonville Daily News sports editor, according to his story, not only are the Pirates the first team to win the Holidays boys basketball tournament for 3 consecutive years.
Yay, go
Junior Jermaine Cunningham is the first player to be named the most valuable player for a second time. Congratulations. Says Swansboro accomplished these feats Friday night with a 65-47 victory over the host, White Oak, in the championship game.
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty good. Congratulations.
Speaking of basketball, coming up this week.
Yes. Getting to regular basketball.
Southwest Onslow in Jacksonville, North Carolina, playing at Southwest. It will be live right here on WSME, your Cardinal sports station.
That's right.
So
go Cardinals.
I don't know what time it is. 6:30. Starts at 6:30. That's on the 4th. That's on Thursday, 6:30. I guess that's game time, but I don't know what time we'll go on the air. And then let's see. White Oak. Jacksonville's going to be playing White Oak. Live broadcast will be at 6 p.m. on the 15th. And Jacksonville's playing South Central. That's in Winterville. And be live there on the 19th at 7:30. And let's see, what else have we got here? Well, we'll keep you up to date on the dates and stuff when it's coming down.
Love me some
Cardinal
basketball. Yeah, I went to go visit my daughter this week and take her dog back. And of course, my grandson was wearing a Duke shirt.
Oh,
they're Dukies. I'm a Carolina girl. And
state red, go red, go
I think
red,
my
go
granddaughter's going to go to state, but he was wearing it with the big D Duke on it, and then it says something about beat Carolina or whatever. I was like, that's an ugly shirt. Take it off. Hey, here's a nice story that was put out by the Jacksonville Daily News. I just found.
What's that?
It's about an Onslow County 9-year-old and her family who needs the community's help as they prepare to bring her home following a severe weeks-long battle with the flu.
Yeah, that stuff's not nice.
Says Sophia Davis is the youngest of 8 children in the Davis family who live on and own a livestock farm off of Burkle Highway in Jacksonville. She's a 4th grader at Meadowview Elementary School and a football player for the Southwest Stallions.
What?
Yes. On November 5th, she was diagnosed with the flu, but she and her family were sued and find out it was more than a general case of the flu.
There have been a lot of deaths in North Carolina.
Yes.
More than normal by this time of year. Lots of kids have died from flu.
Right. Her mother says she took her to the emergency room because she couldn't hold anything down, and they got her Zofran and sent her back home. Wednesday, they went back. This is past Wednesday, went back to the emergency room where they ended up giving her fluids and sent her home again. And then by Thursday morning, she could not get her alert and awake. So she took her to the emergency room. She could not walk. She was dizzy and vomiting. A CT scan was done, and she was transported to New Hanover Regional Medical Center. And they discovered she only had about 50% of brain activity at the time. Yes. Her body was put into a coma. And so she was unable to come off the tube. She had a breathing tube. She was intubated. She was flown to UNC Chapel Hill when there was a change in her pupillary response, and she was immediately sent in for a craniectomy. Wow. But she's one strong little girl, the article reads. She was intubated for 28 days. They took tube out, weaned her off the meds, moved her to a regular floor, and then she started making strides so fast, way faster than they anticipated. We got her moved into a rehab center. Her mother said, I just got word she's doing so well, they're thinking of discharging her on the 10th. We go back to UNC on the 19th to have her bones put back in.
Oh, my.
Yeah, from the brain.
Yeah.
So anyway, oh my gosh, there's a GoFundMe account, fund that has been started to help the family with the cost. You know, most families don't have insurance on their children.
I know.
And that's, you know, I know a lot of families can't afford it for one thing, but I'll definitely put this story on our website.
Yeah. Yeah. 39-year-old man died after a shark encounter at a Maui beach over the weekend. Happened Saturday just before noon. Life-saving measures were taken, but did not work. No signs of foul play at an autopsy. Yep.
They just don't go away. It's their land. It's their ocean.
It's their ocean. All right. Tomorrow we've got Dr. Rosemary Stein. We'll talk to her about the flu with all the kids and everything.
And Peter Wright, because I have questions.
Peter Wright with Medicare, Medicaid questions. If you've got them, now's the time to get your phone ready, your fingers ready to dial the number.
Yes, right.
It's up here behind us on the wall. If you can't see it, it's 910-333-0139. It's on our Facebook page. Put it in your phone so you can have it ready to go on a moment's notice. Something may strike your fancy, and by the time you get looking us up and waiting for us, we may have already moved on to something else.
If you get some breaking news, too, give us a call.
Yep. If you see breaking news, if you get stuck in traffic, a lot of traffic, you run across a wreck here and there that might serve as a warning to other people about what they should do, fire, anything related to something like that, give us a call so we can pass the information along. It might help somebody to find another road. Meanwhile, coming up now, Fox News, and then at 10 o'clock this morning, another dose of your Daily D's with Rick Dees. And at 3 o'clock this afternoon, Rick's going to hand it off to the man, Hollywood Man, right here on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME. Also at WSME971.com worldwide. Great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
WSME, Camp Lejeune, W246.